Welcome back, Generals, to another Let's Fix Generals a 0 hour to make the best game ever. Yeah, last session I was losing my mind. I hope this session we can recover from this. From this upsetting time. Yeah. Before we go back to code, maybe we look what reviews have in store for us. Let's see here. Speaker tower healing across entire map. Speaker tower bonuses stay on units wherever they go after speaker tower unit is garrisoned inside a tunnel. Wasn't this already fixed? The buff issues are covered by the following. Continue building. So I guess we close it. Close is completed. Close issue. There we go. Disable or sanitize in-game UI map any settings. With settings like this, a map any file can change the chat position and its font type and size. Fantastic. Let's put a ice. Okay. Okay, blah blah blah. Okay. Blah blah. What do we have here? Omniblade, recursive changes. Well. Playing sounds exclusively for local player can mismatch the game. Okay, cool. What is this? Oof. Crash. As you can see, it happened while the intro of the mission is going near end and some graphic abnormality happened. Issue no with the game sum. Issue no with the game sum. Work after reinstall with new game data in it. What? Okay. Mark these as done. Decover credit scroll timing. Oh, what is this? Verify credit scroll at the same speed at 30 FPS and higher frame rates. Verify credits still scroll smoothly without stuttering. Last scroll time. Last scroll time. Credit scroll timing is now decoupled from the render updates. Scroll interval ms. Scroll rate per frames. Oh, what's this? Time get time. Okay, that's weird here. What? Frame since started. What? How did this work originally? Frames since started plus plus. Yeah. And then what? Frame started is not 0. Frame since started plus plus. Scroll rate per frames. Yeah, so this does not look right. Scrolling should be specified as scroll distance per second, and then be scaled by the render frame rates, and scale each frame by the render frame rates. Here, scroll rate per frames, like based on this one, scroll interval ms, that doesn't make sense. What does it? Scroll interval ms. It looks weird. Multiplier with y. What the fuck? It looks strange to me. Looks strange. Scale each frame by the render frame rate. That music sucks here. The water sucks. This water sound. What is this here? Oof, that's also too hard on the ears. I need something calm. What about this? The Witchwood Cabin. It's also too hard. What about this one? It's too joyful. Okay. Scrolling should be specified as scroll distance per second. The scroll. I think it probably depends on whether we need integer position or not. So where do we do the positioning? Get font, set text, get size, position. There we go. Let me search for this guy here in the code. Yeah. There we go. Credits. And this one is a it's an integer. Okay. Integer position. Update scroll interval. I don't like this. Use float, then later. Because it is inaccurate. Then later cast to integer. I would say you get it at start time. Probably better to have a start time, then take new time, calculate position, offset, check if position has reached new integer, then continue update, otherwise wait for next fraction, for next updates, and fractional move. That's how I would do it. Good. Invent a name for this project. Let's see if we have any good new name suggestion. Resurrection, Evolution, Reborn, Reforged, Open Core, 0 Hour Remastered. Yeah, classic remastered. Yeah. Decouple physics and fate timing from an update. Is this AI generated? I remember I worked on this before, and it was difficult to get perfectly right. I would be surprised if this change easily fixed it. And then pause this. Do I still have this branch where I worked on this? I worked on this and then I decided, no, I can't do it. I probably deleted that, right? Drawable update. Ah, no, I do have it still here. There we go. Yeah, here all the experiments. Yeah. Yeah. It was a major pain and we didn't get it right. Hmm. May I take a look at his code and see? So, let me look at this code and see if it's. Da, da, da. Okay, it looks. This looks promising here. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe. To me, it looks like it's going into the right direction. It's hard to tell if all these things are right. So, for example, why did this remove the division by 2? That already looks suspicious. Ah, it does here 0.5. Okay, you put that there. Okay, that's fair. Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. For easy tests, take a GLA buggy and compare its wobble, compare its physics with retail. If it is not matching, then there's work to do. If this change easily fixed it, there's no problems. Still have my That's physics with retail at different FPS. Yeah. I have very low trust that this is correct. I didn't test it, so maybe it is 100% correct, but I don't trust it. Just a hunch. Someone can test and can verify that this is all correct. If I get some positive feedback, I can check. But I'm like 90% sure that he probably goes into the right direction, because I look at this and I see it uses the right principles here with this stuff and the time scale here. So it's doing the right things, but getting all this right, I'm not so sure about this. Yeah, I'm not so sure about that. But yeah, maybe it is correct, but I don't trust it. Mainly because I had troubles with this myself. Yeah. Yeah. Did I also do this here? Drawable.h. 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 Yeah, I also had this here. Yeah. Time elapsed fade. Time elapsed fade. Okay, I didn't have that. Okay, so so yeah, maybe he did the master change, but I'm skeptical about this. I found it not straightforward to fix it, but maybe I just struggled more with it than I should have. Yeah. By the way, there needs to be there's some code somewhere that makes it call. There's some code somewhere that makes it call only every X frame. So I don't see this being touched here. So that would need touching as well. I think this should be a separate change here. This is not related to physics. This should be a separate change. Anyway, I don't care for this right now. Good. Do we have any approved changes right now that we can merge? Well, this one here. Or maybe not. Don't merge yet, he says. Okay. Good. Good. How about we go back to our code here? So. Right, so we did add this code here. last session and had big troubles. Big troubles with the camera clipping at the edges of the map. Boy. So the question is, how do we figure out why this happens? We did find a workaround, the work in progress workaround, but I don't understand why it happens. Yeah. Yeah. So we have to move the pivot to the ground, I suspect. Okay, the pivot to the ground. And only then it works without bugs. Why? Get height around pass. Let me look into that function again. Okay, this one really just gets ground height, yeah, around that position. Okay, that's fair enough. And then this one here is doing source pass X, Y, 10, near Z, far Z. It seems fine. It seems perfectly fine. Why would that cause issues? Why would this cause issues? How about, I have an idea how we can debug this. We go back to this code here. We remove the true. And we put a breakpoint. We put a breakpoint in here now. And then we check what happens. Okay. So, right, so we go down here and then we do this. Huh? Huh? I'm confused. Oh, it didn't write the new file. Okay. Oops. So we scroll back. Let me see if the issue still happens first. So we are here, we scroll back. Yeah, there's the issue. Okay. We have to scroll fast. Put a breakpoint. Scroll fast. Let go. Oh. It didn't go in here. Why? Huh? Huh? Is that maybe a problem? Huh. Okay, that's unexpected. Only adjust if we are too close or too far. Okay. That could explain the issue. It's not calling in this here. Is within height constraints. Camera height constraints. Let's add a new function here. Bool is above. Is camera above terrain? Is camera above ground? Const. Oh boy. Can we jump to this function? No? No? Well, then not, I guess. Is camera above ground? I have the feeling that we already have a function that is similar to that. Above ground. Height above ground. It's camera. Okay, and then here we do is camera above ground, and let's do a real min expected height. Here we should say this camera above grounds. The camera off the grounds. Optional arguments. Turns the minimum expected height of the camera to be above ground. It would be better if you could say structs structs maybe we just make a function for let's make a function for rear get good camera height, good camera height above grounds. Returns the minimum expected height of the camera to above the ground. The minimum expected height. Let's do that. I think that's better. Then here we do that and that, real. And then we take this and then we put that here. And then get goods. Real X, real Y. Get safe. It's let's put that here. Expected camera heights. For the given coordinates. How about we do new Z? We do const exp const real new Z. Let's say new Z. For Z. Is it okay? Then here we do static real X, real Z, XY, I mean. Jeez. Get hide around plus near Z. Good. Then turn this X, Y. Good. Camera hide above ground. Why is this not static? I don't know. Oh, because of this. Ah. Then we take this, get camera offset Z, and put it above that. Then near Z. Then here we do terrain hide on the camera. Then here we do get. Get good. We should let's rename this to get minimum acceptable camera height. Min acceptable Turns the minimum acceptable camera height above the terrain for the given coordinates. Then let's rename this to camera height. Camera height. Then we can remove this. Okay. And then okay. And then we use the same now here in our other function here, where we say here camera position, and then here we say camera height. Say min acceptable camera heights. Min acceptable camera heights. Acceptable camera heights. Then we have a const bool is above min acceptable camera heights. Is above min acceptable camera heights. And then larger equal. Okay, now the question is, what should we do? Should we move the pivot, or should we just do this? not sure. Move pivot to ground. Record camera. Record camera. Yeah, so I'm not sure here. Move pivot to ground. Third. Within camera height constraints. Record camera. I think this makes sense, yeah. If not this above this. Because then we need to record camera here. Zooming or moving pivots. Or scrolling. It's not zooming or moving pivots, or not is this. Does that make sense? So we adjust the zoom and scrolling. Adjust zoom and scroll. Move pivot to ground. Adjust zoom and scroll. Adjust zoom. Just zoom and scroll. Just. I think what we should also, maybe what we should do is just zoom and scroll. Maybe what we should do is say here, else if not is above min acceptable camera height, then well, let's say not else, just this, and then we do this. Yeah. Does that make sense? Maybe, and then we take this guy, and then here we say is calling. Zooming a moving pad. So if we are not above min acceptable camera height, we certainly want to recalculate camera. Yeah. Yeah. And then we also want to after scrolling. I'm not sure about this here. Let's just test this first. Let's test this and then see what happens. Yeah. Okay. Like play cheat sounds that reveals information to one player only. Okay, first we check that it still works. Yeah. This looks fine. Okay. Okay, then we test that. Okay, that still doesn't work, right? Okay. If not this above. Okay, I'm surprised. Oh, never hits. Huh. Okay. Why not? Unacceptable camera heights. Get unacceptable camera. Right. Okay. Okay, that doesn't help. Just zoom and scrolling. Okay, I don't quite understand though. Camera pose Z larger equal, not above. Okay, I don't understand why it's not entering this here, because clearly when we are here, this one is clearly below the terrain, right? Clearly below. So why is this not hitting? That's weird. 10. That makes sense. Good position. Yeah, how do we correctly detect that the camera is below the terrain? The problem is here we already assume that, so this one's using the camera position of the last frame, which is not that nice. We should calculate it from our current position, not lag behind. So this is shady already. Not much shady, but a little bit shady. But then we would need to call build camera position. And that is expensive. Build camera position. Bool force above ground. But that's bad, isn't it? Camera position. Move pivot to ground. Camera position. Good position. transform. Uh, yeah, I'm wondering if we should build the camera position every frame. Maybe we should. Build camera transform. So we could say, who's calling this? Camera area constraints. Okay, I'm inclined to say that here we add this const then we go to set camera transform here. Then we go up here and then we do build camera position. Okay, so this one is now built every frame. And then with these two things, we have the source position and we move that here. Then we can remove this. Okay, and then here we also update camera constraints. So since we have source pos and target pos, then here we do this. Maybe. That sucks. So here we also do this. But here we added the ground level. That's not a good idea. How can we solve this? Move pivot to ground. The problem... Maybe it's good enough to do that. But then I still don't understand why this doesn't work. Yeah, why is this breakpoint not hitting? Camera pose Z larger equal. Ten. Uh-huh. I actually have no clue why this is not hitting. Like, clearly at some point the camera pose Z should be smaller than the min acceptable camera height, right? So if we look at this now, the camera is below the terrain 100%. Why is this not detecting this? Man, it makes no sense. Camera pose XY is here. Ta-da. It should hit this, if not, it should hit. It should hit this breakpoint. Or maybe not. Oh, it goes down here at the edge. Could that be? It goes a bit down. Aha. Okay. Aha. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, but then... Okay, let's put a breakpoint here again. Here. Mm-hmm. That also hits now. False. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on here. Move pivot to ground. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, I'm none the wiser. I'm none the wiser. Hmm. Hmm. Why does this happen? Okay, so it's not so much a problem of the height. This one is correctly updating. It's only the clipping, but we do get a hit here now, so that's good. Then it must be a problem with the... Oh, that didn't hit though. But that did hit. Let's see what happens now. Hmm. To 7. 3, 5, 7. Hmm. Yeah, so it's a larger constraint now, and then get position. Minus 15. Uh-huh. Right. So it has to move now from -15 to 357, which is quite a jump. Yeah. I still don't understand why it moves forward then. Why is it doing that? We need to understand it to properly fix it. Man, why does this happen? Oh, man. There is something here. Something is wrong with our logic here. So it doesn't happen if we always call this guy every frame. Why? I'm confident that I will understand the problem, but it takes awfully long to get there. I feel like I'm close, but because we have already a lot of indicators, like where this comes from and what avoids it. So calling this every frame avoids it. It's definitely the camera area constraints. It's updating. But why is there such a big discrepancy? That I don't understand yet. We scroll around. because we don't do we don't do anything fancy when we change the height, wherever that is. Here. We don't. There's nothing. This should affect nothing. It shouldn't affect the calculations. Or does it? I don't understand. Why does this have ripple effects? So let's remove it again. Yeah. Remove it again, and we also remove this here, and we also remove this and this. All these things here. Okay, so we lower the camera, we sell it. So now it doesn't change the height, but as you can see, there is no weird clipping. The map boundary is perfectly fine. Let's put a breakpoint here. No. Then we scroll down here and we let go. Oh, it didn't hit. Okay. But now it did. It's weird that it doesn't always hit. Okay, let's see what happens now. Update camera area constraints. Offset is this 146. It's the same, almost the same. Okay, and this one is low, and this one is 146. Yeah, okay, so this one looks to be valid true. Okay. Yeah, so essentially it hasn't really changed much, right? Plus y is 120, and afterwards it's still 146. 146. 46. Okay, it did change. But not that much. Okay, and then what? .5 ground level. It's pretty low. Okay, I really don't understand why this causes a problem. But it's also strange to me that's, yeah, well, maybe the fact that it sometimes calls this and sometimes not is maybe caused by, yeah, it's probably caused because we don't have any slow scrolling and then the terrain elevation change. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, I don't know. This is I don't understand it. I don't understand the problem here. That's why I have troubles also fixing it, because I don't understand it. That's the problem. We don't understand the problem, we can't fix it. That's a problem. Hmm. 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 So anyway, we can solve this puzzle. I can't think of a way to debug this and find out why this happens. I just can't think of it. It's somewhere here. We're looking at it. We have seen the code. The error is somewhere at the code that we have looked over the last 1-2 hours. It's somewhere there. But I just can't wrap my head around why this happens, this discrepancy in position. And I assume it's an issue that is already here, but only when we do this one code here, it reveals this issue. Because this change here is innocent, it shouldn't affect this, but it probably reveals the issue somehow. Like the issue is always there, it just happens to not be visible, and then we do this, and then it becomes visible. Somehow, I don't know, I don't understand it. I can only speculate right now. Yeah, we only modify the source position, the target position on the z-axis, right? And the z-axis has no relevance for the map border at all, right? It doesn't care about this. So why would this suddenly be a problem? Maybe. Maybe because area constraints. Well, the current camera is responsible, or it's probably related to this that yeah, yeah, maybe. Maybe what we need to do is um, mm, build camera precision. Pivot. Yeah, maybe. So one way to mitigate it perhaps would be to call here, is it at build camera position here, when it does this reposition, then also recalculate the constraints, camera constraints, when it does this here. But that sounds fishy as well. Or we have to move this code elsewhere before. Let's try something else. I have some idea here. Let's do bool false camera above ground, above terrain. True. I do the same here. Position. Then we call this here, and then we do this if this. This, and then for the camera area constraints, we pass here false, yeah, and then this one is true. Build camera position. Here, this one we need to remove. Move pivot to ground. Now the question is, do we also pass false here? Pivot to ground. Yeah, I think so. False camera above terrain. This might work, but it's a bit spaghetti code now. So that means that here we call false, here is true. So it's basically only used for the real transform. Here, when we do the real transform. Look at. Okay, let's test this first. I have this hunch that this fixes the problem. So basically, only for the real camera position that we draw, only there we force it above the terrain, but for the other calculations, for the pivoting, we and the border we don't do it. Yeah, maybe. But then we should write that differently because this is really spaghetti. Okay, let's test it first. And then if this works, then that would be great. And then I know how to write this. Good. So go here. Okay. And that works. Actually, no. It's still wrong. Well, it's better, but no, actually it's correct. Yeah, it's correct. Yeah. It works correctly. Okay, fantastic. Yeah. So this is still... If you go here, we go fast here. So now we are above terrain. We let go, and now it raises up as well. Okay, this works correctly. Yeah, fantastic. Okay, then I know how to fix this properly. Okay, oh man, I'm relieved. I was so worried. Okay, but now I kind of understand the problem. Okay. Okay, cool. Man. I probably spent 4 hours on this problem. Yeah. Wow. That's sad. That's sad, yeah. Oh. Canceling the edit of a script, condition, or action should not perform the same action as OK. ID OK. See dialog. Modal ID OK. Okay. Looks simple enough. Okay. Can we merge as far as I'm concerned? It's going to be superseded by the PR mentioned above. Superseded. What do you mean by superseded? Is this change no longer necessary? Good. I will take a break here. The next session I will properly fix this up. Yeah, so that because this is Boolean is really spaghetti and hard to follow. We should clean that up. Yeah, and then we test it a bit more, and then this seems pretty good. We then need to start merging some of the camera changes slowly. I think that it's a really huge change by now. I don't know. I think I've changed everything in this class already. Like I've touched so much stuff here in this class. It's insane. It's so complicated, this logic, especially when trying to not break the legacy logic, right? It's madness. Yeah. Okay, but it looks promising now. I hope that not more is broken, but I think it's really cool that we can now scroll over the terrain and not clip into it. Like this was quite a bit upsetting before. So being able to like move the camera at low pitch around and it looks nice. I think this is pretty cool for observers, especially, right? If they want to show like a low angle view over the map, then they can show it. I think it's nice for live streams to be able to do that. We can show like the action from the side, which gives a bit more like visual sweetness to the action instead of just from the top. Okay, cool. Yeah, this was hard, but I think the way the camera works now is really nice. We have really fixed a lot of things, like the pivoting is now always in the center, right? If we go around, the pivot point is now always at the center, even after changing terrain height. The camera repositioning is still the same, is visually the same, with zooming into and zooming out to in the view direction. So that's good. The interaction with the camera border is much nicer now, where you can actually see like the full edge. Before it would like always stop here or so, right? You wouldn't see the whole thing. Now you always see the whole thing. When you scroll down, you can see further into the map and it looks nice without any glitches. So that's nice. This one is a bit too far, but I don't really care about that at this moment. I think it's okay. There's still an issue here with mini map. There's a radar icon there when we are low pitch, but I don't care about this right now. Yeah, it looks pretty looks pretty solid. We also changed the way that the look at target position smoothers over the terrain. It's no longer a sharp cut, but it's like smoother. Like, so if you look at this, it now samples like, so it samples like the center point you look at, but then also 4 points around it. And then it takes the average of it. Before it took the max. So then you would get like harsher elevation changes on these slopes, and now they are smoother because it's averaged around these look at positions, look at points. So that's nice. Yeah, the map border I already said. This looks good. Yeah, what else did we change? I don't know. Something. I think there was the issue, right, that you were able to look out further depending on where the pivot was, right? So let's say you start a match here on DEFCON at your base, and then you go down here, and now if you would have pressed numpad 5, it would recenter the pivot position, and then you were able to scroll out further in the map, right? You were able to look like further into the blackness, scroll further into the blackness. But now when you do this, then you now see further in the blackness, but then when you let go, it correctly lifts the camera to like the edge so that you can in the proper bounce. This was also broken before. Yeah, so quite a lot of changes. And it was harder than it seems. If you followed the videos, it seemed so simple, but it was hard, but it works really nice now. Like even this here looks good. Like when we scroll down here, this looks good. Like if you play original camera, then you have trouble scrolling down here, right? It would stop like here, the camera or so, and you cannot properly scroll down here. Now you can do that. It looks pretty good. It looks really nice. I really like the behavior now. It feels good. I think players will be shocked at well, maybe they won't even notice, right? I think these things, like, it's not that noticeable, right? But I think players who know the bugs, they probably will appreciate this. Yeah. Yeah. It's not a fancy change like some other things that are more visible, but I think camera is pretty important, that it works nicely. Yeah, it's one of the most important things. If the camera sucks, then you will have a hard time, right? So I think it works very well. I like it. It was hard, but we're almost there. Well, there's still a big question mark about the terrain height map changes that we did. I think there's some stuff we need to redo or so, change again. But I think in regards to camera, I think we're in a good spot here. Camera looks pretty good. Good. Then I will take a break here. Wish you a great day or night. Until next time. Goodbye.